Hey all, welcome to Homeschool. We are with a chapter called Chemical Bonding of Class 10 ICSE syllabus, isn't it? And we have completed so many things in a chapter. We spoke about the basic introduction, we spoke about ionic bond, ionic compound, its properties, covalent bond, covalent compounds, types of covalent compounds, and its properties, right? And today we are going to deal with the last type of bonding in a chapter, that is coordinate bond. And before I start a concept, I would like to tell you something. See, if you have any doubts on any concept of any chapter, you can post it in a comment box. Or if you want any concept to be explained in detail, that also you can post it in a comment box, and we will select the concepts and we will try to explain and give a detailed clarity on a concept. Clear, everybody? Fine. So, before we start this coordinate bond, let me go with one example. Okay, first I'll start the concept with one example. See here, the very first example I'm going to tell you is the formation of H3O plus, okay, ion. There is one ion formation. You keep observing this particular ion formation during chemical reactions. Okay, and this particular ion formation involves the coordinate bond formation. Right, that's the reason we selected this as an example. So this is some sort of ion because it has a positive charge, right? And this is actually called as hydronium ion. Hydronium ion. Say about this, you will study more detailed things in the next chapter, that is acids bases chapter. Clear? So just imagine this is one sort of a molecule, okay, ion that is getting formed, which involves coordinate bond formation. See, you all know how water formation takes place, right? Say water formation. Say water is formed by covalent bonding, right? Say water in the sense H2O, isn't it? Say how is H2O is formed? Oxygen, and this is one hydrogen, this is another hydrogen. So hydrogen has one electron in the last shell. This hydrogen also has one electron in the last shell. Oxygen has how many electrons in the last shell? 6 electrons. You know, this particular concept is very, very important. You must know how many electrons are there in the valence shell of every atom. Clear? Say without this you cannot learn chemical bonding, right? And oxygen has 6 electrons in the last shell. This is how I will arrange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, say between this oxygen and this hydrogen, these two pairs of, this pair of electron is getting shared. Between this oxygen and this hydrogen, this pair of electron is getting shared. So you would get the formation of water. So one single bond between this H and this oxygen, another single bond between this O and this hydrogen. And these guys are there, no? I will mark with a blue color pen. And these guys which are not shared, isn't it? These guys are not shared. And you know what do you call these electrons as? Lone pair of electrons. I explained in the previous video when I told about covalent bond formation. I told about this lone pair also, right? So the electrons which are not shared on a particular atom is called lone pair. So here oxygen has how many lone pairs? 1 and 2. So these two pairs, pair in the sense 2 electrons, isn't it? So these two pairs of electrons are not shared with hydrogen. So they are called as lone pair electrons. Okay, so now this lone pair electrons are responsible for forming coordinate bond, for forming coordinate bond, right? So now our water molecule has two lone pair of electrons and oxygen. Say, let me write water here, oxygen, this is one hydrogen, another hydrogen I will mention here. So this particular guy has two lone pairs. Okay, so now this water can react with H plus ion. Okay, so this process happens during a chemical reaction, guys. Okay, so there are H plus ion is actually called as proton also. Okay, so usually hydrogen atom is there. It has one electron in the outermost shell. In case if it is losing that one electron, then our H becomes H plus. If it is losing one electron, 1 plus, losing 2 electrons, plus 2, losing 3 electrons, plus 3. All these things we discussed in ionic bonding, isn't it? So in any case, like if hydrogen is losing its outermost electron by some process, this hydrogen atom gets converted into H plus. So in case in a reaction, if you have that H plus along with water, what happens is this is very unstable, right? It doesn't have any electrons, guys. It's very unstable. To become stable, it needs 2 electrons. How many electrons it needs? 2 electrons. It wants that duplet electronic configuration for gaining stability. So what happens here is, water has a very broad hat because it has 2 extra pair of electrons. We call it as lone pair of electrons, isn't it? So among the 2 extra pair, 1 pair of electron is donated to H plus. Okay, so this is what we will call it as covalent bonding. This is what we will call it as, coordinate bonding. Coordinate bonding. Okay, so coordinate bond is always represented with the help of this type of arrow mark. Okay, covalent bond means one hyphen we will put, yes or no, but coordinate bond is always represented with one arrow mark. Arrow mark have to be shown always from lone pair to the positive ion, right? Say, what does this arrow mark indicate? This particular lone pair is getting shared to H plus ion also. Now this lone pair can belong to H plus ion also, right? And lone pair can belong to oxygen also, right? And here this bond, say this is a coordinate bond, right? Say here both the electrons belong to one atom only. This is not contributing in giving any electron. It is remaining very inactive. It is passive, right? It is helpless because it doesn't have any electron. It is very sadly coming and standing near oxygen waiting for the electrons to get stability. 2 electrons if it has to get, it can achieve stability, right? So it sadly waits near the water. So since oxygen in a water has more electrons, unshared electrons, so 1 pair of electrons can be shared with H plus also. So this way, if a bond has formed, such a bonding we will call it as coordinate bond, always represented with an arrow mark. Clear? So now what is the definition you can write for coordinate bond? It is such a bond that is formed where one combining atom contributes or gives a shared pair of electrons, okay, is called coordinate bond. See, it is such a bond that is formed where one combining atom, say actually oxygen is combining with this H plus guys, but one combining atom only is giving one pair of electrons, right? So one pair of electrons have been shared between oxygen and hydrogen, no doubt. But who has given that one pair of electrons? Completely given by one atom only, that is by oxygen, right? And you observe this bond guys. This bond is also formed with the help of two electrons. But here one electron belongs to hydrogen, another electron belongs to oxygen, right? So between oxygen and this hydrogen, two electrons are there, but among them one is from this hydrogen, one is from oxygen. So it is shared, but this bond is very different. So here also two electrons are shared, but both the electrons is completely given by one atom only. Okay, another atom is helpless. It is passive, inactive, just waiting to get stability, just trying to get help from others. So shared pair of electrons are completely given by one of the atom. So such a bond we are calling as coordinate bond. Clear? And now let us look at one more example. The second example, formation of NH4 plus ion. Okay, NH4 plus ion. See here, you all know ammonia structure, right? We have studied in the previous video. This is what our ammonia structure. So you will observe one lone pair on nitrogen, isn't it? Say when ammonia is like this, in front of it, in case if any H plus is coming and standing, which is waiting, the guy which is helpless, which is very, very unstable, right? So it has come near to the ammonia and it is standing for its pair of electrons. So ammonia fortunately has one extra electron, we call it as lone pair, unshared. It is, this pair of electrons is not at all shared with any of the hydrogen, it is very much free. So what happens, this pair of electrons is shared to H plus also. So this is another example for covalent bonding. Clear? So this is how a special bonding can be formed during chemical reactions. So more details about this will be studied in the higher classes. You have certain compounds like complex compounds, coordinate compounds. You know, chlorophyll. Where is the chlorophyll present? In the green plants, right? So what is the use of chlorophyll? Photosynthesis. What does the chlorophyll contain? It's a green color chemical, right? So in that chemical, you actually have coordinate bonds. Even hemoglobin. Where is hemoglobin present? Blood. What is the purpose of hemoglobin? Carries oxygen. So hemoglobin is a chemical, guys. In that chemical, you know what type of bonds you will observe? Coordinate bonds you will observe. Right? So in nature, many of the complex molecules which exist, most of them are colored molecules. Okay, so we call them as complex molecules. In them, you will observe this kind of coordinate bonding. You know, shared pair of electron completely belongs to one of the combining atom. The other guy is completely helpless. Right? So this type of bonding, special bonding, is what we call it as coordinate bonding. Clear? So that's all about a chapter called chemical bonding. And I repeat once again, if you have any doubts on any concept, you can post it in a comment box. Or if you want any concept to be explained in detail, that also you can post it in a comment box. We will consider and we will do a video classes on that. Clear? So with this, I end the session. So if you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in the easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.